Hi,
Good
how's it going?
evening. So we decided that for family home evening, we want to record our family history, and it'll just be us talking, telling our stories. So we'll start off by telling how we met and our first memories of each other.
Alrighty. So, I remember the first time that I ever met Abby was in the kitchen at the Pollock's house. We had gone home for lunch. I went with Nick, and Abby and was friends with Nick's younger brother. She went home with him and some other friends, and we just happened to be there at the same time, and we, you know, met for the first time, and they were like, "Oh, hi, this is Abby," and I was like, "Oh yeah, you're one of those cool SBO people. I've seen you before at some point, but I never like actually knew her."
I just remember eating a bowl of Malta meal and looking down to the family room, and Jake was playing video games or whatever, and I was like, "Cool, hey, how's it going?" like, nice to meet you. I'm gonna go jump on the trampoline. Okay.
Yeah, and then let's see. After that, it kind of we never really saw each other until after I had graduated high school and got a job at Classic Skating.
I remember very little about Jake at Classic Skating except that one night when he and Mariah were driving away and I had been talking to Mariah. I kind of met her for the first time and she was driving away with Jake and she looked out the window and she just yelled, "Marry my brother!" And I was like, okay. Don't know you.
Um, I remember the first time I saw Abby at Classic Skating. It was I started working there February 2012, I think was the year. And let's see. So I one day, kind of toward the summer, I was just going into work, and I had clocked in, and I walked into the office in the back room, and there was Abby, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh
I remember meeting
yeah.
you. That one time so long ago in the Pollock's kitchen."
I was being interviewed by Jared.
And so then she was like, "Oh yeah, I just got a job here," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool." And then yeah, we kind of got to know each other. I remember um, the first time I really kind of noticed Abby though, and like really thought she was cute, was one day they had like a rotation when we do our work. There's water slides outside, and so that you don't have to stay outside all day in the hot sun, they would do a rotation. Abby was right behind me on the rotation, and so whatever station I was at the top of the water slides, and then she would come to me, and I would go to the next station, and then she would come to me on the next, 30 minutes later, and I would go to the next station.
Just like to follow him around.
And one day, I was up at the top of the slides, and Abby came up to replace me. And I remember we talked for just a few seconds, and then I started walking away. And as I did, I was like, Abby is kind of cute. But the thing was, I had a girlfriend at the time, and so I was like, no, 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 I can't do that. And then, obviously, I was wrong.
So I was friends with this girlfriend because she worked with us as well. And I thought she was really nice. And so we kind of talked. For some reason, I ended up going to Jake's band concert. And I don't know why. I don't know if you invited me or Nick invited me or
Somebody,
Andrew.
I don't know.
Because Andrew worked with us too. So I ended up going to Andrew Brown's backyard for Jake's concert and sitting next to his girlfriend. And thought it was a blast. Like, it was so much fun. And Jake was just jamming away, hat backwards, having the time of his life. It was like a summer evening. He was leaving on his mission soon. And, like, that was that.
In like 4 months.
Okay, kind of soon.
Go ahead.
Anyway, so. But he was dating someone. And it wasn't until I got a call at like 10 o'clock at night one time. It was a Thursday night, and it was Jake, and he was just like, "Hey, do you want to go bowling?" And I was like, "Well, I have school tomorrow, but I doubt my parents will say yes." I asked them, and they said yes. So it was definitely divine intervention. I get in the car. It was in the back seat of, I think, Nick's car.
Mm-hmm.
And and he just goes, "Well, I broke up with Lexi." So that was when I knew this was a date. And that continued on every Thursday for a couple months before he left on his mission.
Yeah, we started bowling night as a group of friends. Me, Nick, Robbie, and Jared, because we were all leaving on our missions within the next several months. And so we wanted to have some time where we would hang out together. And yeah, Abby was just on the list of people that we thought was cool enough to invite. So,
Privilege.
but then I have a cool memory of that night of listening to Jim Gaffigan. He tells jokes about people and like talks about bowling and stuff. He's like, oh, isn't bowling just an interesting sport? It's the only one that the ball actually just comes back to you. You don't even have to do anything. And there's that fan that cools off your sweaty fingers. And then there's those people who have their own bowling shoes, their own bowling ball, and no friends.
That was Robbie Kelly.
We laughed really hard.
Yeah, Robbie had his own bowling ball. Anyway, he's a great guy.
So, yeah, bowling night happened, and then
I want to say something about bowling night.
Oh, go ahead.
I was still in high school, and I was doing a CNA program, and Thursday night was my clinical, and so I had to drive way out to South Salt Lake to go to this nursing home. I'd be in my scrubs, I'd be all nasty, and then I had to drive way out to Harriman, I think, to drop off this girl who had epilepsy and couldn't drive herself, and so I would always give her a ride. So by the time I got to bowling, it was like 10:30 or 11, and I would be in the parking lot like changing out my scrubs into like clothes.
She was so cute every time.
And then I would come in with my vital sign stuff, my blood pressure cuff, and my heartbeat. It's been a while.
What is
Anyway.
this called?
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope.
And I would take their blood pressure and their stethoscope thing.
While playing bowling.
And what was my name?
Your bowling name?
Rifkin.
Oh my gosh.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And I remember writing it on my vital sign thing because I thought it was so funny. Nick gave me that name.
I don't remember why.
Because he just blindly typed it into the bowling thing, and that's what it came out as.
Oh my gosh, it was fun.
Anyway.
So then, there was a night. Oh, it was on Halloween. Abby texted me and said, "Hey Jake, what are you doing for Halloween?" And I was like, "I'll probably just stay home and bum around and not do anything." She's like, "Well, you can come over. My mom made donuts." And I was like, I love donuts.
Light bulb!
But the problem was I didn't have a car at that point because my car had died. My Buick LeSabre, 1990. And so I said, well, I would love to, but you have to pick me up. And she said, all right, that's fine. She came to pick me up, and we went and had donuts for Halloween. They were so good. Thanks, Becky.
That's when I won his heart. For real.
And then we had to go pick up Annie from her friend's house. And,
Abby Roper.
And Abby was just like, okay, Jake, you go get her. And I was like, alrighty, I'm ready to go. Because I never met Annie before, and she didn't know who I was. I went up to the door, rang the doorbell, and I was like, hey, we're here to pick up Annie. And then whoever, Roper, went around the corner. It was the mom. She went around the corner, and she was like, Annie, your brother's here. So Annie got all ready, and she ran out to the door, and she just looks at me. And then she just kept on going, like nothing was out of place or anything.
Annie knew what was up.
So
That was funny.
that was really funny. From that day on, until the day that I had left on my mission, I think we were with each other at least every day, if not every other day or every day.
And I was driving every one of those days.
Yep.
Should we tell about, missions? That was a long story. Jake left. We would start writing each other letters.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty good for now.
Should we stop for that? Okay. To be continued.